Welcome to Bet Formula. I'm going to show you the worst possible betting strategy using a real world example where a guy cashed out a potential £800,000 winning bet with only one more goal needed in a Manchester United match. Now this guy created something called a correct score treble bet. A treble bet is an accumulator multi-parlay bet. He basically chose 3 football matches and he needed Manchester United to win 2-0, Liverpool to win 2-0 and Tottenham to win 3-0 on the last day of the Premier League season. He bet a massive £219 on this high risk bet, which in my opinion is absolutely crazy, because to get a match winning for a correct score is incredibly risky and incredible bad idea. Sure, you may be able to find one match where you feel there could be a 1-0 or a 0-0 or 1-1, but to actually choose 3 matches in the Premier League is incredibly high risk and a foolish bet to begin with. Now to actually place £219 on this bet is also incredibly foolish, but the bet won. The bet would have paid over £800,000 from a £219 stake. Now you're probably thinking, why was this a close bet? Well, what happened is the guy cashed out. The guy used a stupid feature that bookmakers have because it makes them profit. It was 0-0 going into the 73rd minute and Manchester United scored 1 goal, so it was 1-0. So Man United only needed 1 more goal to win, and I'm going to explain to you why cashing out was incredibly foolish for 2 reasons. One, at a Man United match in the Premier League, for another goal to be scored at the 73rd minute, it probably would have paid around about odds 2 for there not to have been another goal. So what this basically means is the bookies would have given you a 50-50 chance that statistically there would be another goal or there wouldn't be another goal. So basically, to offer the cash out they offered him was absolutely ludicrous. He cashed out, 73rd minute point, just over £5,000, even though there was a tremendous opportunity for him to have 1 more goal in the match. Whether it would have been 1-1 Brighton or whether it would have been 2-0 Man United, a chance of another goal was very, very high and at least 50-50. So the bookies gave him £5,000. He cashed out 73 minutes into the match, and another goal was scored later on during the match, just before the injury time started, and he basically lost out on a £815,000 bet, all because he used the cash out feature. He had a 50-50 shot and he took £5,000 instead of £800,000. Now the goal came in the 88th minute point. Now what happened here, in my opinion, why he cashed out, is it was 0-0 going into the 73rd minute. He thought the bet was a loser. So as soon as he saw a goal go in, he saw the grand total of £5,000 cash out and he decided to take it. Very, very, very happy. But had he thought that another goal being scored was a 50-50 chance and the grand total was over £800,000 for the win, 814,000 exactly, a betting odds of 3,717 to 1, he would have thought, hang on, I'm going to stick with it. Now this is the danger of in-play betting, or in-play betting is incredibly stupid. Whilst he placed a pre-match bet, he decided to make this an in-play bet by cashing out. If you place a pre-match bet, keep it at pre-match. And why are you staking so heavily at £219? Had he staked less, a £50 bet, a £40 bet, he may have decided to stick with it. Sure, the returns would have been less, but a £50 bet would have still returned £200,000. So the correct score market, incredibly stupid. And if you're going to place these high stakes bets on these really high odds, ask yourself, what are you doing? You should only place these kind of bets if you're willing to see the conclusion. This guy has to live with the £800,000 loss that he could have had. He's only got £5,000 and he could have had over £800,000. But the point isn't that. The point is, do not place high risk bets unless you're ready to stick with it. My advice would be either stake less or just avoid such high risk bets entirely altogether. This guy knew he got lucky. That's why when one goal went in, he cashed out. But he missed the big high odds win that he was actually looking to land, and he would have won this bet. So you've got to ask, did impulse kick in when it was a 1-0 and there was over 20 minutes left into the match? If he would have thought about it, would he have actually cashed out? Probably not. And this is the problem with pre-match betting, and then you cashing out in playing. An impulse can kick in because you haven't got a game plan. And this is how the bookies beat people, because they take people's money who don't really have game plans. Now, if you're going to bet like this, you're probably going to lose more times than not, so I'd advise you to consistently bet on lower accumulator bets. And the correct score market is a foolish market. Such a shame that this guy nearly won a massive bet, but because the cash out option was available, he's just missed out on probably the biggest winner of his betting life.